If you are a girl listening to this right now, and your heart feels heavy for no clear reason, this is not a coincidence. Some girls don't scream when they're hurting. They become quiet. They smile a little softer. They stop explaining themselves. You were strong for too long. Strong for your family. Strong for the people you loved. Strong even when no one asked how you were doing. You learned to say, "I'm fine." Even when your chest felt tight, even when your nights were longer than your days, you were taught to adjust, to compromise, to understand everyone else's feelings while slowly ignoring your own. And one day you realized something painful. No one noticed when you were breaking. You gave love without limits. You stayed even when it hurt. You believed promises because your heart was pure. And when it all fell apart, they told you to be strong again. But listen carefully now. Being broken doesn't mean you are weak. It means you carried more than you should have alone. Some pain doesn't come from loss. It comes from being unappreciated, from feeling replaceable, from loving people who never chose you the way you chose them. You replay conversations in your head. You wonder what you did wrong. You blame yourself for things that were never your fault. But the truth is, your softness was never the problem. Your loyalty was never the mistake. Your heart was never too much. The world just wasn't gentle enough with you. And still, you wake up. You survive. You keep going. That alone makes you powerful. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where you stop abandoning yourself. You don't need to heal everything today. You don't need to forgive anyone right now. You only need to breathe and stay. Because even shattered hearts can learn how to beat again. She loved in a way that cost her everything. Not loudly, not for attention, but quietly, deeply with her whole heart. She believed that love meant staying, that loyalty meant tolerating pain, that understanding meant sacrificing herself. So she ignored the red flags. She explained people's bad behavior to herself. She kept saying, "They'll change. It's okay," but it wasn't okay. She gave chances where boundaries were needed. She forgave apologies that never came with action. And slowly she started losing pieces of herself. She stopped asking for more. She stopped expecting effort. She convinced herself that being chosen halfway was better than being alone. Somewhere between waiting for replies and hoping for promises to be real, she forgot what it felt like to feel safe. She blamed herself. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I asked for too much. Maybe I'm not enough. But the truth is, she was asking the wrong people to love her the right way. Not everyone knows how to handle a soft heart. Not everyone deserves access to your vulnerability. And not every connection is meant to last forever. Some people come into your life to show you what love is not. And it hurts. It hurts to realize that the person you held so close never held you the same way. But listen carefully, girl. Love is not supposed to drain you. It's not supposed to make you beg for effort. It's not supposed to make you doubt your worth. The right love doesn't confuse you. It doesn't disappear when things get hard. It doesn't make you feel small for needing reassurance. You didn't love too much. They loved too little. And one day, you will stop romanticizing the bare minimum. You will stop chasing people who only meet you halfway. You will learn that walking away is sometimes the bravest form of self-respect. This chapter hurts because it's teaching you something important. Never abandon yourself for love. You deserve consistency. You deserve honesty. You deserve a love that feels like peace, not anxiety. And until that love arrives, learn to hold your own heart gently, because the girl who loved deeply is the same girl who will heal deeply, and she will rise, wiser, softer, and stronger than before. Nights were the hardest for her. During the day, she could pretend. She could stay busy. She could smile and survive. But at night, when the world went quiet, everything she buried came back. The memories, the words left unsaid, the moments she wished she could change. She stared at the ceiling, asking herself the same questions again and again. Why wasn't I enough? Why did they leave so easily? Why does it still hurt this much? Her phone felt heavier at night. Every notification scared her. Every silence broke her a little more. She missed people who were no longer good for her. She missed versions of herself that existed before the pain. She cried quietly, so no one would hear. She wiped her tears fast, because she was used to being strong. Some nights, her chest felt tight. Her thoughts wouldn't slow down. Her heart felt tired of fighting. And still, she woke up the next morning. That's something no one talks about. The strength it takes just to keep going when you feel empty inside. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens in small, painful steps. In nights you survive. In tears you let fall. In mornings you choose to get up anyway. You are not weak for missing what hurt you. You are human. But slowly, without realizing it, you start breathing a little easier. The nights hurt a little less. The memories lose their power. One day, you'll lie in bed, and your heart won't feel so heavy. One day, sleep will come without tears. Until then, be patient with yourself, girl. You are healing, even on the nights you feel like you're breaking. And every night you survive is proof that you are stronger than the pain trying to consume you. Letting go was never easy for her. Not because she didn't understand the pain, but because she remembered the good. She remembered the laughs, the late-night talks, the moments that made her feel chosen. So she held on, long after it stopped feeling safe, long after it started hurting more than it healed. She told herself that love means patience, that people change, that walking away meant failure, but staying was slowly destroying her. Letting go doesn't happen in one moment. It happens in waves. You decide to leave, then your heart pulls you back. She blocked. She unblocked. She stayed strong for a day, then broke again at night. And she hated herself for it. But hear this, girl. Healing is not a straight line. You don't need to feel ashamed for missing someone who hurt you. Your heart is just learning how to detach from what it loved. Letting go is not forgetting. It's accepting that what you wanted is not what you were given. Some people are lessons, not lifetimes. Some endings are protection, even when they feel like loss. She didn't walk away because she stopped loving. She walked away because she finally chose herself, and that choice hurt. It hurt deeply. But with every step away, her heart got a little lighter, her mind a little clearer, her soul a little stronger. One day, she stopped checking her phone. She stopped waiting for apologies. She stopped needing closure. Not because it didn't matter, but because she mattered more. Letting go didn't make her cold. It made her free. And freedom, for a girl who gave too much, feels like learning how to breathe again. Sometimes, the bravest thing a broken girl can do is let go, not of love, but of what was breaking her. Rebuilding herself felt strange at first. She didn't know who she was, without constantly giving, without always adjusting, without putting others first. For so long, her worth was measured by how much she was needed, by how much she was loved, and when that disappeared, she felt empty. So she started small. She stopped explaining herself. She stopped chasing validation. She stopped apologizing for having feelings. It wasn't easy. Some days she missed the old version of herself, the one who tolerated more, the one who stayed quiet. But that version was tired. And this one was learning to breathe. She began setting boundaries. Even when her voice shook, she chose silence over arguments, distance over disrespect. And for the first time, she felt something new, self-respect. Healing didn't suddenly make her happy. It made her aware of what she deserves, aware of what she will no longer accept. She learned that love should not feel like anxiety, that peace is more valuable than attention, that being alone is better than being with someone who makes you feel lonely. There were days she doubted herself, days she felt guilty for choosing her needs, days she wondered if she was becoming too much. But slowly, that guilt turned into strength. She realized protecting her heart was not selfish. It was necessary. She didn't become cold. She became careful. Careful with her energy. Careful with her trust. Careful with her heart. Rebuilding herself wasn't about becoming someone new. It was about returning to the girl she was before the world taught her to shrink. And with every boundary she kept, every time she chose herself, her self-worth grew stronger. She was no longer surviving. She was learning how to live again. Choosing herself felt like a betrayal at first. She was used to putting everyone else first, used to being available, used to saying yes even when her heart whispered no. So when she started choosing herself, guilt followed her everywhere. She felt selfish for resting, selfish for saying no, selfish for walking away from situations that drained her. But what she didn't realize was this: she had been abandoning herself for years. Choosing herself didn't mean she stopped caring. It meant she finally cared about herself too. She stopped answering calls that hurt her peace. She stopped chasing people who made her feel optional. She stopped shrinking to make others comfortable. And slowly, life started to feel lighter. She learned that she didn't need permission to protect her energy, that she didn't need to explain her boundaries to people who kept crossing them. Some people didn't like the new her. They called her distant, cold, changed. But she wasn't cold. She was healing. She wasn't distant. She was finally close to herself. Choosing herself meant listening to her body, resting when she was tired, crying when it hurt, leaving when it became too much. She realized that love should not require self-destruction. And for the first time, she felt proud of herself, not for being strong for others, but for being gentle with herself. Choosing herself didn't make her lonely. It made her free, because the girl who learns to choose herself no longer waits to be saved. She becomes her own safe place. She thought healing would be simple, that one day she would wake up and the pain would be gone, that she would feel normal again. But healing didn't work that way. Some days she felt strong, peaceful, proud of how far she had come. And then, out of nowhere, a memory would return. A song, a place, a name. And suddenly, her chest felt heavy again. She hated those days. She felt like she was moving backward, like all her progress meant nothing. But healing isn't a straight line. It never was. Healing comes in waves. You rise, you fall, and you rise again. Some days she missed what hurt her, not because it was good, but because it was familiar. And that confused her. But she learned something important. Missing someone doesn't mean you should go back. It just means your heart is still releasing what it once held tightly. On hard days, she reminded herself, I am not starting over. I am continuing. Every tear didn't erase her growth. Every bad day didn't cancel her strength. She was allowed to heal slowly. She was allowed to take breaks. She was allowed to feel sad without judging herself. And slowly, she stopped being angry at herself for not being over it yet. Healing wasn't about forgetting. It was about learning to live without the pain controlling her. And even on days when she felt broken again, she was still healing. Because choosing to keep going, even when it hurts, is healing too. She didn't become fearless. She became safe with herself. After everything she had survived, she stopped looking for someone to rescue her from her pain. She learned how to sit with her emotions without running from them, how to comfort herself the way she once wished others would. She no longer begged for love. She no longer chased reassurance. She no longer settled for confusion. Not because she didn't need love, but because she learned how love should feel. Love should feel calm. It should feel consistent. It should feel like home. And until that love finds her, she is enough for herself. She built routines that protected her peace. She chose people who felt safe. She walked away from energy that felt heavy or uncertain. She learned to trust herself again, her intuition, her boundaries, her heart. She understood that being alone is not emptiness. It is space. Space to grow. Space to heal. Space to become whole again. She didn't erase her past. She honored it. Every care, every lesson, every scar. They didn't break her. They shaped her. And now, when she looks in the mirror, she doesn't see a broken girl anymore. She sees a woman who survived, who healed, and who chose herself. She became her own safe place. And from that place, she will love again, not from wounds, but from wholeness.